During these difficult and challenging times, I'd like to share with you a story that I heard a number of years ago that I think it's really appropriate we should all hear now this story again now. The story of Rabbi Lau, the former chief rabbi of Israel, shared this story. And this story, he says, goes back to the early 90s or the late 80s when he was invited to come to speak at an opening of a Holocaust memorial. I think it was in Seattle, Washington. Rabbi Lau, the reason he was invited, he was one of the youngest Holocaust survivors. When he was 5 or 6 years old, him and his family were taken to Buchenwald. His parents did not survive the war, only him and his brother eventually became the chief rabbi of Israel. So they invited him to come to speak at the opening of the Holocaust Memorial in Seattle, Washington. And he shares that after he gave his talk, an older gentleman comes to him, and this person was wearing clothes from the U.S. Army with a whole bunch of medals. And he comes over to Rabbi Lau and tells Rabbi Lau, I was one of the soldiers that liberated your camp. He says, wow, he gives him a big hug. Tells Rabbi Lau, I'd like to apologize to you. Rabbi Lau says, apologize to me? I should thank you for liberating it because you showed up. He says, I want to tell you, Rabbi Lau, I came here to apologize. You're right, we showed up. But when we showed up, we realized we showed up too late. And Rabbi Lau turns now to the President of the United States and says, I know America is going to be there for Israel, but make sure when they show up, it's not too late. Thank God our country now, United States of America, is standing there with Israel right now. We pray that they continue to stay there. There are many beautiful countries in the world that are standing with Israel. Unfortunately, there's some countries in the world that don't understand the work that Israel is doing. But and they don't understand, or maybe they do understand, but it's pure anti-Semitism, that what Israel needs to do and is doing right now is to wipe Hamas off the face of the earth. Because wiping Hamas off the face of the earth is not only protecting the land of Israel, it's not only protecting the Jews all over the world, because that's what Hamas's goal is, but it's protecting the rest of the world from that evil. But the question really is, okay, that's the Israeli army, but what's our responsibility? And we have to say to ourselves, we have to say to our families, that in this challenging time, we are going to tell the world that we are there for the people of Israel, for the Israeli IDF, and for the Holy Land. And what does it mean to be there for us? We don't have to stand in the front lines. What it means there for us is A, supporting the land of Israel through sending donations there, or items that they need, or going out and talking to people and explaining to people. Obviously our haters are our haters, but explaining to people what Israel's up against and the responsibility Israel has for the citizens and for the Jewish nation and for the world in general. And the final point is, we are all one big family. And when we do our mitzvahs over here, by celebrating a Friday night dinner, putting on tefillin, lighting Shabbos candles, making blessings, doing positive, reaching out to a loved one, showing unity in the Jewish community, showing unity in the world, bringing light to the world. What the Hamas try to do, the darkness, we bring the light to the world. Not only are we helping our community wherever we live, since we're one unit, we're helping the soldiers, we're helping the people in the land of Israel. See, as Jewish people, like it says in this week's Torah portion about Abraham went down to Israel and expecting to be in Israel. Then there was a hunger and he had to go to Egypt. And he had to do a U-turn. He had to turn to the side. So what you see from that, what did Abraham do when he went to Egypt? He still fulfilled his mission and purpose in life. And then eventually went back to Israel. You see, in life, a lot of times, a lot of things that happen to us is beyond our control. But what we do, that we have in control. What Hamas did, we had no control over it. We living in America. But how we reacted, what we're going to do about it, that's in our control. And that's why we have to make sure now, this period of our life, they're going to try to wipe out us being Jewish. People try to make us feel uncomfortable to being Jewish. We have to be even more proud. We have to have a stronger Jewish identity. Through what? Through walking around as a proud Jew, standing up for what Israel stands for, bringing more Judaism to our family, within our own personal life, and bringing the unity and love to the whole world. Shabbat Shalom.